becomes a public speaking opportunity. Devin, who's been standing and trying to speak, how have you been looking at your experience with standing up and trying to speak out?
It'd be really nerve-wracking, especially when you don't know how many people are going to be in the room. And, you know, I get nervous. I've taken public speaking classes, but it's always different. And then once you kind of get into the feel of it, I think it can be a pretty empowering feeling. The more you do it, the more confidence you're going to have. So as much practice as you can get. Take anybody. Speak in front of a mirror. I know we've said that before, and I know that that's your best bet, because you're not always going to have somebody to model on. But if you're able to speak into a mirror, feel comfortable with it, then once you get one person, two people, practice is the best tool.
But what exactly should we practice? Obviously, we can stand in front of the mirror and speak the words over and over again, but how will I practice to effect the room with confidence? What body mannerism will actually create a more trusting experience compared to another? You don't want to create a situation where you feel closed off to the students. You want to invite and create an opportunity of invitation so that the student will come with you wherever you're trying to lead them, guiding them. The tone of voice that you carry can also affect the room. If the voice cannot be carried throughout the room, you might use a mic in order to help your voice. Otherwise, your voice drowns and the crowd cannot hear you. If I cannot hear you, I cannot follow you, I cannot trust you. Have you experienced that?
Yeah, I have, and I feel like the students really kind of mirror the teacher. So if you're not approaching the situation in a serious way, chewing gum and sort of not having proper posture, it gives your students permission to do that because you act as their example. So it's really important to be the example in your class.
That's beautiful.
I get bogged down when I see somebody that's not doing exactly what I want them to do. Then I get focused on what they're doing instead of talking to the group. I'm trying to speak to an individual.
Connecting with one can allow you to connect with the room as a whole if you do it the right way, letting them all in, even as you're focusing maybe on one person.
Use in a positive way, because you can not solely focus on one person, but you can use them to guide you along. And if there's anything that you're not specifically targeting, like you're elongating your spine, and you see that the rest of the class could benefit by that information, then by all means say it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Pacing too much demonstrates a sense of non-confidence.
Right.
Rather than pacing, but walking and being in specific areas. Maybe you want to be able to project your voice from this side of the room, and so you're walking over there in order to express yourself, and then you'll hang over there for a little bit. And then you decide, I want to go and project my voice from that other direction, and then you consciously go over there. You might have to play with the lights or play with the music, and now you're intentionally going towards that avenue. Because now in the mirror, the student's focus cannot center on one spot. As much as the student would like to focus on one spot, invariably there's one thing that is constantly moving, which is the instructor.
I think it's just always important, like you want to be the person that facilitates your students in having an experience of success. Because I think it's succeeding in things that they maybe didn't think they could do that allows them to leave feeling empowered and go out into their lives in an empowered way just from this yoga class. And so one example of where you can kind of hold them back is through pacing, because so often we ask them to focus on one point and one point only in the mirror, but if you're walking back and forth like this behind them, you take away their ability to do that, and you take away their ability to succeed. So you disempower them by not being empowered yourself and being able to stand in your feet and speak from there rather than needing to move all the time.
The opportunity of facing yourself in public speaking format puts you in the uncomfortable view eye of what's going on inside. Where do you feel self-conscious? Where do you feel self-limited? And by facing your own fears, they will disappear.